Welcome back to the Java Programmer. This would be episode 10. Last episode we wrote some code. That code is very broke at the moment. So I'm going to continue pretty much right where we left off. So like I said in the last video, I plan to code more and talk less. So the last thing we did here was we created a signal manager. And when we extended... we created the class, it brought in this implements, and I don't believe this is correct. Pretty sure this needs to be extends event channel. And let's see. Yep, import it, and now add unimplemented methods. Yep, there we go. So all our signal manager is going to do right now is going to just log the event that it gets. And that's it. So basically what a signal manager is going to do is it's going to look at the rates and it's going to generate signals. Not like your buy-sell signals, but it's going to generate signals like the moving average crossed a certain line, or your MACD, the one line crossed over the other. These are the type of signals that this is going to generate. And it's going to consume rate events, but it's also going to produce signal events. And then the consumer of signal events is going to be the strategy manager. And the strategy manager is going to be probably the more interesting thing that we write, but we're not there yet. But the strategy manager will consume these signals. So for instance, let's say you write a strategy and you say, I want, typically in some programs are called instruments. You say, I want the 200 moving average instrument. I want the 50 moving, the moving average 50 instrument, or I'm going to call them signals. And so basically when those particular signals change, this signal manager is going to be what produces those signals, so that then the strategy manager can send that signal to the correct strategies, or the strategies that are listening for those signals. Anyway, that's in another video much later down the road. So for right now, all the signal manager is going to do is just going to print the rate event. So we're going to keep it really simple for now. I believe our rate event class does not actually extend our event. Nope. That's where our problem's coming in. Come on, work with me tonight. Extends event. Now we need to make sure that that is, let's see if it brings in the right event. It does. That's good. So our error should go away. It does. So this is great. So let's see. We have our, so in our API program, we create a brokerage client and we register a rate event with a signal manager. So basically, signal manager is going to get any rate events that get generated via this. So we need to actually get this to generate some rate events classes. So if we're in here, we've got this all set up. We have our rate event info, but we need to say, okay, rate event equals new rate event. This needs to be generic enough. So rate event dot, let's see what we have available. Event dot get. We're basically wanting to set the tick and the pair. So we want to get the pair. Event dot get the tick. So in the tick, we want to see what does it have. It has a bid and an ask and an inverse and a max units and a mean and a pair. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff. So we probably should, instead of passing FX ticks around, which are Oanda specific, we should probably have our own tick class so that we just have in it what we want. So maybe we can do this. New tick, and we pass in a tick. A tick can know about both. Well, I don't like that either. Tick tick equals new tick. And we'll say tick dot set bid is equal to event dot get tick dot get bid, tick dot set ask, event dot get tick dot get ask, tick dot set instrument, event dot get tick dot get pair. I don't know why they have it in both places, but that's what we want. That's what we call the instrument. And our rate event is going to take in a tick. So this seems like a lot. We're going to need another class, another package here for what I'm going to call models. And that's where we're going to put the tick class. Come on, ask me to create it. So create class tick, and put that in our models class. Because eventually we're going to have things like, we're going to want to do charts so we can get a graphical idea of what in the world's going on. And we're going to need things like candles and bars and all sorts of things like that. So let's go into the tick class, and we're going to have a private double ask and a private double bid and a private string instrument. And if we generate our getters and setters on these, our error messages should go away from our other classes. And that should be it for those. Let's see. Yep. Our rate event does not take in a tick. We'll have to fix that. Oh, well, we need to import it first. And we need to create its constructor. Private tick. This dot tick equals tick. And so we have a rate event that's going to be what's coming into. Let's see here. All right. This still doesn't like us. Why doesn't it like it? It's not applicable for arguments. Right, because this needs to be a rate event. There we go. So now we need to go back to our signal manager and capture this. So our signal manager. So this actually, we need to say rate event equals rate event, because we know that the signal manager is only going to be sent in rate events. So now that we have a rate event, we can say rate event get, where's our tick method? We didn't create one. So rate event. Let's generate getters and setters for our tick. That way we can use it elsewhere. We can put other things in this class if we need, but all right, here we go. So get tick. And we'll probably need to put a toString method in our tick class. So let's go here and let's go here. It's a public string toString. This is going to be very similar to what I did last time, or 2 videos ago. We're going to output the instrument, and then we're going to output the ask and the bid. So, yep. So when we system output this, every time we get a tick in, it's going to print out. So the signal manager is simply going to display ticks. Now, let's see. All right, we got a bunch of handling going on. So in our brokerage client, basically we fire it up every time Oanda gives us a rate. It's going to run this handle method. It turns it into a tick that we are going to use, turns that into a rate event, and puts that in the queue. Now, remember our main class out here is dispatching that queue. So every time something comes into this queue, it gets dispatched. Now, based on our program config, we've told it for rate events, send them to the signal manager. So I would like to go ahead and test this, but the market's not running right now. So I'm going to have to pause and pick up this video back again when the market is actually running. I checked the markets and I realized even on the weekend there are some rates that come through. So let's go ahead and give this program a try. And I want to look real quick at what's going on here. I don't think we need our configuration helper anymore. Let's see. So in our app, I've probably gone over this numerous times now, but we've created our program. Our program creates a client, registers an event with the signal manager. Our client connects into Oanda, registers itself for rate events. When it gets a rate event, it turns around, puts that rate event into the event queue. Our dispatcher, which is over here, we call it a router. Our router routes it and should be routing it to the signal manager. Let's see, signal, where's their signal manager? I must be blind this morning. It's highlighted. Okay. So just to make sure that this is actually happening, let's try signal manager. Because the output of this program should be no different than what we saw last time. It's just everything happens to be in different spots. So let's give this program a run and see what we get. So it's going to connect to Oanda. It's going to start up the rate thread. And oh, look, we have rates. And we see that it's the signal manager that's telling us about these rates. Now, I don't recognize these instruments, this XXX. Looks like it's just the same thing repeated over and over and over. And like I said, it's the weekend, so the market's closed, but Oanda is still sending me this data. Otherwise, we would not be seeing it printed to our screen here. So anyway, we have done the first step in getting our program set up. Next time, I'm probably going to go over like an architectural view so you can see kind of our end goal before we go further. But I would like to flush out the signal manager a little bit more. I have some ideas. But anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is the Java Programmer.